Episode 37, see Wendy and residential wood burning, compared to recreation vehicle park fires PM 2.5 emissions. Wendy noted that the focus of residents against wood smoke emission particulates, RASEB, is on the health effects to near neighbors of living next to residential wood burning, in those hyper-localized areas where the source of particulate pollution, PM 2.5, is concentrated. PM 2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, is the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, causing a cascade of human health problems. Wood smoke consists of 90% PM 2.5. Residential PM 2.5 monitors can be purchased by neighbors from Purple Air for less than $300, and their locations are put on the online Purple Air map, along with data uploaded every 10 minutes, available to the general public, and of course to governmental authorities. Neighbors of residential wood burners would like their Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor data to be used to regulate and shut down residential wood burning detected at neighbors' fence lines that exceeds the World Health Organization, WHO, standards of 5 micrograms per meter cubed or future U.S. standards of 8 micrograms per meter cubed. There could even be court-ordered monitoring using a neighbor-owned Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor as a breathalyzers, similar to car breathalyzers court-ordered for repeat drunk drivers, to turn off the ignition of a neighboring indoor wood stove when levels of PM 2.5 in a near neighbor's yard is exceeded. In this way, governmental authorities would not have to check the make and model of an appliance and would not have to rely on unreliable certification and other worthless assurances of levels of wood stove particulate emissions by the company that manufactured it. Purple Air monitors also provide data every 10 minutes 24 hours a day, and data can be downloaded from the map by governmental authorities the day after the PM 2.5 levels are exceeded during normal government working hours. Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors are so reliable and accurate they are put on U.S. Air Now smoke and fire maps alongside $100,000 Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) monitors, correlated to the EPA monitors with a simple mathematical formula. But to publicize this, it is necessary to point out that living hyperlocalized next to a residential wood burner is essentially the same as living next to wildfires in the South American Amazon basin. Amazonian wildfires also produce large amounts of PM 2.5 or particulate matter of 2.5 micron size. The difference is that, with PM 2.5 monitoring, the pollution can be preempted by shutting down the hyperlocalized residential wood burning, but fires at recreational vehicle, RV, parks are in areas where the regulation and enforcement of rules on wood burning are controlled by the RV park owners, rather than controlled by complaints and PM 2.5 monitoring by near neighbors of residential wood burners. The argument against burning wood in RV parks, according to the article Wendy read, from the publisher of RV Travel, is that there is growing concern that fires may be getting out of control, even when safely confined to a fire pit. The publisher of RV Travel thought it was time for some campgrounds to establish so-called no campfire zones. He wrote his editorial, of course, after spending a few nights at a packed RV campground where his neighbor's fire pit was less than 10 feet from his RV. The publisher and a podcast host talked about the idea of having campfire bans in certain situations. In that episode of the podcast, they talked about how to screen campgrounds and what happens when you become ill on the road. The discussion touched on whether it was worth it to melt a marshmallow with a wood fire rather than using other, less labor-intensive, and particulate-polluting methods. The publisher sleeping 10 feet from a wood fire was the impetus for the discussion. Concern about hyperlocalized PM 2.5 pollution causing discomfort and trouble breathing may have been the reason for the publisher's concern, in addition to the implied concern about causing wildfires to spread. Episode 30